buckle up, because it's gonna be a long ride. It's gonna be a wild ride. Nobody cares, but we're gonna tell you anyways. This is Popcorn Chats.
Oh no, my phone is quite literally at 11%, and I don't want to reach over to the other side of my bed. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Popcorn Chats. I'm MICHAE.
And I'm Katie.
And we're back this week covering a new movie. We have not covered a new movie in a long time. It's been a hot second, so kind of excited to jump into this. And we are going to be covering the new AI robot horror thriller movie, M3GAN.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. I'm excited.
Me
Where did
fucking
you
too.
watch this? Did you watch this on YouTube or did you go and see it?
I watched it on Amazon Prime for $20.
Nice. Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's expensive.
But it was good. I also watched Bones and All for $20 recently.
Wow.
That's $40 I'll never get back for both of those movies. No, I actually
Do you
enjoyed
own
both
them
of
now?
them.
Like, did you buy them or was it just rented? Tragic.
Just rented.
That's okay. That's okay. The only reason I didn't end up spending money on it is because then I didn't have anything going on Tuesday night, and I remembered that it's $5 Tuesdays, so I was like, well then, hell yeah. And you get free popcorn, so I was like, fuck yeah.
I'm freaked out about AI already, so
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. Maybe this will be like a healing journey for me. I don't know.
Spooky Yuki.
Check in.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine. I hurt my back so bad yesterday, so I'm
no.
really not doing well in that department. Yeah, it's the stupidest fucking way to hurt my back too. I put Cooper in my laundry basket because I was doing laundry, and I lifted my laundry basket like normal. You know how when you assume something's light, you like lift with your back?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I did, and I mean, he's such a small little pup, so I'm like, whatever, I just picked it up. But oh bitch, he's chubbier than he looks because I strained the fuck out of my back. So yeah,
Trash.
I like was moving so slow at work today, and I was just getting frustrated because I couldn't like move faster and get more things done. Getting older. How are you?
Trash. Well, I'm tired right now.
I know, I'm so sorry.
But no, that's
Sorry.
okay. It's not your fault. You can't control traffic. I don't really have anything else. I'm excited for our LA trip that's coming together.
Girl, that is going to be so fun. We are going to girly LYLAS pal skip hop jump around this goddamn town.
It's gonna be
Allie,
amazing.
Michaela, and Olivia are all coming to visit me and Corinne in LA in September.
It's gonna be amazing.
And
it's gonna be so fun.
Pumped.
We have so much to do. It's gonna be full of activities.
My head hurts because I just realized I've only eaten a bagel today. And that
is tragic.
Like 8 hours ago.
That's tragic.
Everything. I am just falling apart. But it's fine. Let's just get into it. My girlfriend's going to be in town tomorrow. God fucking bless America.
Yay, Corinne.
Right. Yay, LYLAS Corinne. I would just like to start off with reading a couple of Letterboxd reviews of this film that I thought were iconic, so fucking funny. If you're not on Letterboxd, you should be. I don't think I have a username. I don't know. But if you're on Letterboxd, say hi to me. I am cataloging like every film that I watched this year. This person says they gave it 3.5 stars and they said, M3GAN, you did nothing wrong. Then somebody...
That's it?
Letterboxd reviews are like short.
Interesting.
Somebody named Ram with a heart emoji said she really thinks Titanium is a lullaby.
That scene said me. What was that choice?
I don't like that.
Oh my god.
I didn't like that. I would have said, Alexa, stop. Someone said, Chucky had to work so hard for queer icon status, and here comes Miss M3GAN, an instant legend. Okay. Oh my god. That's like a wheezy ass cough, bitch.
I
Are you
know,
okay?
No, one, I think I'm getting sick, and two, Lane, if you're listening and not watching, I'm currently laying in bed for this video because it's my fucking bedtime, and I think laying down, I swallowed the wrong way. Okay, anyways.
Last one. Somebody named Laertes said Renesme looks a bit different here.
Not Renesme.
That is such a slay.
People
People come up with funny shit on there. I'm like, I wish I was funny like this. I'm living for this Blum House new intro. Love it.
Oh my god, the intro's amazing.
You're killing the game. I love Blum House.
Mhm.
Love me a high concept, low budget film, which was this. What would you give this out of 5?
Honestly, 3.5 sounds right to me.
Yeah, that's what I gave it. Or I think I gave it a 3.
Because here's the thing. It was entertaining. The acting performances were like pretty good. Like I enjoyed pretty much everyone. Like the boss was bad. But but I mean, still it kind of all fit within the realm of like campiness kind of. This is like just specific to me. It is a horror movie, but I didn't go home scared. So I appreciated that. It made my heart race, but when I went home to my apartment, not a single fear.
Because you would never let a fucking robot kid into your house, so you got nothing to worry about.
Fuck no! It's like an interesting idea too, like points for creativity. And it's not like gory at all, which I don't like the use of gore for no reason except for like just shock value. And it wasn't. So I just loved that.
It was giving Orphan kind of, but not as like gruesome as Orphan.
Yeah. What did you give it? Or you say you gave it 3?
Yeah, I think I gave it a 3 or 3.5. Yeah, I thought it was good. I agree with you about the acting performances. Obviously, the girl from Get Out, her name is escaping me. It's like a basic
Allison Williams.
Yep. She's great, obviously. And then the little girl blew me out of the water. Not Megan, but Katie. Even though she spells it horribly. She spells it C-A-D-Y, bitch. That is not how you spell Katie. She was great. And I saw that her and Allison are already signed on to make another film.
Real like a Megan too?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's exciting.
Do you have a standout star?
Yeah, I guess like probably her because she really was a scene stealer. Although, so yeah, obviously I guess like her, but I'll also say like special shout out for her 2 little coworkers. I really enjoyed both of them. And whenever they came on screen, I enjoyed their presence and their commentary.
They brought a lot with very little.
So I liked them. And then obviously Megan. And love to see Marnie Michaels and anything. And also like when the little girl slapped her, I was kind of like, you know? Not like her character in this movie deserved it, but she is and always will be Marnie Michaels to me from Girls. And it's kind of like, you know what? Marnie could have used getting slapped a couple of times. So honestly, a vibe. Who was your standout star?
I think the little girl, Katie. I just really fucking vibed. She was definitely like the emotional epicenter of the film. I thought her acting was really well done. I'm excited. I hope she sticks with acting and like, cause she's very, very talented. I always am very impressed when kids can like actually act. Cause like I'm an adult and I would not know the first thing what to do as like an actor. And I'm always super impressed by good actors anyways, but the fact that she's like a little kid and is gifted with that is just like super cool. I always think it would be fun to be a kid in a scary movie too.
I'd be interested to see how that's done. Like, does it seem scary when you're doing it?
I know the kid from The Shining didn't know he was in a horror movie and he wasn't allowed to see it obviously when it came out.
I think back to like Esther, the girl who played her. You're literally the villain. You're the murderer in this scary movie. Like that's I'm interested to know like how that must have been. Yeah. Oh my god, I don't even want to think about her. She freaks me out just thinking about it. Back to Megan. I don't know why. If I was in Divergent, she would be one of my fears in the fear landscape.
We should do an episode about that. Mikhail, we should do an episode like random questions based on like cinematic shit.
Okay, hold on. I'm jotting that down.
Because that's a good ass idea. Like, what would your fear landscape be?
We shall brainstorm, but that would be so much fun.
What if I see that actress walking around out here? Should I get a picture with her?
Drop kicker.
And be like, my friend is literally afraid of you. Can we get a pic?
Actually, if you, Katie, that legitimately just gave me chills. If you were to FaceTime me and I would be like, oh my god, Katie. Answer the phone and it's her face. I think I might legitimately have a heart attack. I don't know how I would be able to handle that. It's making my heart race just thinking about it. She makes me so anxious.
That's really too bad because she's a great actress. Her in that movie that came out last year, Novice, so good. She slayed. Because she's scary in that one too. She's like very intense. What was your standout scene?
It's kind of dumb, but truly it's the one that's imprinted on my brain the most because it was truly like a what the fuck moment is happening. It's towards the end of the film when they're about to do the launch party and M3GAN is on her little killing rampage to get back to Katie. And when she sees the boss in the hall, when the boss is like, "Where is M3GAN?" and freaking out, and then he sees her at the end of the hallway and she just starts breakdancing.
Yeah.
And then she
Iconic.
Yeah, and then she very dramatically grabs the little paper machete cutter from the like paper cutting machine and like wields it like a weapon and she just walks.
When she grabbed that, I was like, where the fuck did she get a machete? But then I saw the little paper thing in the back and I'm like, that is genius. How has no one, I mean, maybe somebody has done it in a horror film. I just haven't seen that particular film, but I loved that.
And seeing her wielding that, I don't know, it was some combination between the dancing and then the paper cutting machete and the slow walk that it just worked. That and her running on all fours because that sent the movie theater into a fit of giggles. Everyone was laughing the hell out of that scene.
She became a little feral in that moment.
Yeah. That scene gave me very much Orphan vibes when she pushed in front of the car?
That
or is it when she runs and when she runs the nun like off of the road too and like I don't know, it was serving very much like those moments. What about yours?
I think what stands out to me is like the scene where they meet for the first time, Katie and M3GAN, and they pair. That shit is like spooky. Or what is it called? Like demonstration thing where they're like in there and Katie's upset about her parents passing away and M3GAN like helps her and wows the crowd of people. I just thought that was a good moment. Yeah. And also something that I appreciate about this movie is that the protagonist makes the right decision going into the third act where she's like, no, we should not let this become a thing. Let's put it to bed. But then M3GAN like gets a mind of her own and does shit. I just hate when movies like this, the inventor just like keeps pushing and they're like, no, it has to be made despite all of these like huge red flags, like fucking Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Y'all know what I'm talking about when they just keep going and going and going despite everybody being like, you're gonna break shit. I love how, what's her name? Allison Williams' character is like, you know what? With the information I've received about this situation, I can make an informed decision that it is not a smart idea to push this toy out to the masses. And then M3GAN gets one of her own. I'm like, still like the character more because she made the common sense decision, which is very rare in horror films.
Yeah, 1000%. She at least was like smart and made good decisions to support. I hate dumb people in scary movies because they're always like, they just always do dumb shit. Towards the end of the movie when they do something stupid where like it's very clear that they either didn't like kill the person all the way or, oh, they'll like stop now because we did this, whatever. Always dumb things. But she literally did everything right. It's just that M3GAN had like grown too much.
Yeah. I think we should not be letting computers learn.
No.
What is that? That's a bad idea.
It's scary.
It should just be like, this is what you do, period. They're like learning more about us to be more like efficient for us. Just like, thank you, but also you're girl bossing too close to the sun, I think, with this. I'm afraid.
It is scary. Like, are you scared of the concept of AI?
Mortified.
AI robots like this?
Mortified, bitch. The whole metaverse thing. Anytime I see an ad for that, I'm like, bye. Because I'm already convinced that we're somebody else's metaverse. Like, we're either a simulation. Like, I don't know. I know that there's some fucking crazy shit going on. I don't like artificial intelligence. I hate how it's, like, infiltrating the creative world with, like, you telling AI. You can literally tell AI to, like, write a script and it'll write it for you. And that's, like, worrisome to me because I'm like, that's what I want to do with my life. And it's hard to, like, come up with ideas and, like, write them all down. So even if people just, like, put their script idea into AI and it writes it all for you and then you just, like, make little edits, it's kind of like, that kind of fucking sucks because I'm over here, like, writing it word for word. It scares me. I'm worried about it. But also, it's like, if you think too much about it, it's like, what are you gonna do? You can't stop the boulder from rolling down the mountain. Are you afraid?
Yeah, I am. I'm scared of what it would look like potentially like society-wise, like how that just affects jobs and then how that would affect, like if people are out of work because of that, then what that does to like crime rates and like just the economy. I don't know. I think about that. I think about them becoming killers. It is scary to think about, and I don't like the idea, especially how they said that like some of them, like legitimately things that they are building now, you like can look at them and you can't really even tell that it's a robot. Like that is beyond frightening to me, to think that I could be out in public and pass something that looks like a human and have it not be a human. That's so fucking weird to me.
Yeah, super scary. I like what this film is making commentary on. Like, I think it's definitely talking about AI at large, but I really feel like more specifically it's talking about how kids are being raised nowadays. And like, you know, there's all this discussion about iPad kids and how kids don't go outside anymore. And then now with the pandemic, they're so isolated and like kids are having all these issues, whatever. And I do like what this film is doing in that regard of calling into question like what's healthy for kids to be doing and like what they should be doing. I don't know. An iPad probably shouldn't be raising your kid, but when they were like listing all of the things that M3GAN can do for your child, it's like if I had a kid, that sounds really lovely to just have this other kid like watching them so they don't feel like they're being babysat or anything, but they're protected. The toy doesn't run out of patience, so it can remind the kid to do things that they forget to do, tell them to clean up or help them with their chores or whatever. Like it when they were listing all the benefits, I was like, if I had a kid, especially in this girl's situation, she doesn't necessarily want this child. Like if this shit hit the mass market, you know people would be buying it.
That's just the thing. When they said the price point at $10,000, it's kind of sad that my immediate reaction wasn't like, oh my God, that's too much money. It was legitimately like, people will pay that.
Yeah.
Like, I could just see right now, if that was a real thing on the market, people on TikTok being like, I bought the $10,000 robot toy for my child, and it would be blowing up everywhere. Everyone would be buying one.
Yeah.
Well, not everyone, obviously, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah. Well, if you
people who could afford it would be buying it.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like what they say about you never need another toy ever again, it's like kind of true because they just keep them occupied at all times. You wouldn't necessarily have to pay for like tutoring or extra school or anything. You could literally homeschool them and like give them world-class education. We should be making M3GAN like teachers for kids so that we don't have overcrowded classrooms. We should be doing like, why are we not using AI in a way that like could actually benefit? We're like, no, everybody needs their own individual M3GAN. It's like, no, we could just all, like a group of kids could maybe benefit from one of them. But that's what I mean, bitch. High concept.
Until then it starts going rogue.
Right. I want them to make 1 million of these M3GAN movies. Just like The Purge, just like Insidious. I'm in love with this concept. I want to see what happens when M3GAN hits the mass market. I want to see what happens like years in the future when this doll is a part of like everyday life. What happens when the kids grow up? What happens to the dolls? Love that idea. They could do so much with it.
I want to see one where someone falls in love with it. Not in like a sense of like a romance, but like legitimately what does that do when you fall in love with a robot? Because you saw how attached Katie was to M3GAN. That was more, I think, of how the therapist even kind of said like she latched onto her kind of as like a parental figure as well, even though she's like a child doll, but still she kind of like transferred that love for her parents to M3GAN. But as I was watching this and like seeing her reaction when she got taken away and stuff, I just couldn't help but think, do you remember that movie Her?
Yeah.
With Joaquin Phoenix? Yeah. Like from years ago, right? That was Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, that giving me similar vibes to this. You know that someone would fall in love with a robot, and then like what happens? Yeah. Like where do we go from there when people would start falling in love with their robots?
Yeah, because they would probably start making them for adults, and then they'd be like our personal assistant. Which again, it's like I would kill for a personal assistant that I just had to pay a one-time like $10,000 for, and then it's mine to do whatever I need it to do. Like my life would significantly improve, but then it's like that's like iRobot, and then shit's gonna hit the fan. I watched this movie with Ryan Gosling the other day called Lars and the Real Girl. I gave it 5 stars. It was one of the best movies I've ever seen, but it's about a guy, Ryan Gosling, and he falls in love with a sex doll.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the concept like sounds crazy and like it wouldn't be good, but Ryan Gosling is so amazing. I cried at the end of it. Like it's really good. So it's different than her because it's like it's similar but different.
Because it really is. Kitties, I can't tell. They're into something out there. But like you said with The Purge, like there are endless possibilities with the Purge movies of things to do. And I totally agree that this is a concept that they could really just keep going and have so many unique takes on the one idea.
Right. And especially with the way people are taking to this first film, like people are really enjoying it. So I think they got another success with this story for sure. Have you we don't have to leave this in the pod, but I'm just curious. Have you talked to your brother about their plans with their child, or like what would happen to Elliot if God forbid something
like if
happened
they
to
died?
them? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I did ask them that. Christina's sister and brother-in-law would take Elliot. But now that they're having a second one and her sister just had a baby, I don't know then if that would change anything, because then they would have like 3 kids all under the age of like 3. If something, God forbid, something happened right now, or like after they have the second baby. And they would also take Bernie, and then they said I could have Sully, their cat. No, I was fine with that decision.
It would just be so hard. Like,
especially because from what it sounds like, we don't really get anything of the sisters' relationship at all. Like,
right.
Allison Williams never touches on that once throughout this whole movie. All the therapist says is like, were you and your sister close? And she doesn't even answer that.
Right.
So we don't even know any extent really of their relationship at all.
Yeah.
And then to end up with her niece, that it doesn't really sound like she had much of a relationship with her either. And like, it's such like an odd age, you know?
You have to agree to you have to sign the paperwork and everything, but I feel like even when you do that, you're not actually thinking about what if this happens. I mean, you should be, but I don't know. Everybody's different. Did your parents ever tell you where you were going when you were younger?
Yes. Yeah. Did your parents?
Yeah.
I was going to one of my aunts and uncles in Indiana.
Yeah, me too. So we haven't yet touched on kind of like the underlying emotional turmoil that is going on in this film. Allison Williams' character is like refusing to mourn her sister, kind of Xing this child out and like not talking to her, and so she's kind of like building Megan. She was already building her, but like she uses Megan to kind of avoid emotional conversations and connection with her niece after her parents have died. And that's something that like, I mean, I do a lot, like going on my phone to avoid thinking about scary things or sad things, and like I think we all do that in a way of like using devices or artificial things to buffer reality and protect ourselves. So I liked that aspect of it.
Yeah, and I liked how even through the sets and everything, it made it very clear that she is not like a kid-friendly type household.
Yeah.
Like everything from her very high-tech, just everything that she has, like how she has that one little not Alexa, but like it is an Alexa, and you can see on her front door she has some sort of like tech lock on it, and then she has her whole entire robot lab in her house, and she has like collectible robots, but she has like well, honestly, why would she have toys? I don't have toys in my apartment either because I don't have kids. Like yeah, but even like how the therapist got on her for like, you don't have toys, which granted, I don't know, maybe this was a couple days after she got her niece, which if so, then she should have went and got toys. But if it's like the first day, like I wouldn't have toys here either. But it just shows like she has like a very modern, clean, kind of a uppity home that's just not like a kid type house. And it really just, the set does such a good job of also showing just how out of place kind of Katie is in her life until Megan gets there.
Yeah, and she's like, so I know it's been a rough week, but I kind of gotta go back to work. It's like, bitch, this like 7-year-old just lost her mom and dad.
When she asked her if she can hold down the fort for a little bit, I was like, are you actually leaving her? And then she just like went to the basement or something. I was like, okay, good. Yeah, I was like, you can't do that. Random thing, but one of the most unsettling things was Megan's little charging port pad or whatever that she had just in that little daybed, like watching her sleep. Hell no. How do you sleep with those eyes on you?
I want her eyes to close when she turns off. Why did they stay open?
Yeah,
Fix
she needs
that.
eyelids.
I don't like her voice either. It sounds scary.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because it's tainted from the movie.
But that, and also then how she can replicate other people's voices. When she started calling for the dog, I was like, I'm actually going to leave if I see this dog get hurt. Thank God we didn't see anything actually happen to the dog. But when she started calling out his name, I was like, Dewey, don't go. But I'm like, who is this bitch leaving her dog outside all day, all night?
Yeah, and then she's like all sad that
Rude.
he's gone. It's like, why do you
Yeah.
leave him outside? Why do you have a hole in your fence that you're
Yeah.
letting him crawl
Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever. And also, like, the dog bit the kid, but still, I would never put a dog down for that.
through? Sometimes
I
they
shouldn't
make
say
you.
never, but I know they do. Tragic. Anyways, and then when she sprayed the neighbor lady with the chemicals to death, that's a bad way to go.
That was spooky.
Can we talk about a death, though, that I feel like was kind of justified?
The kid.
Yeah. He would have grown up to have been a terror. He would have been a criminal committing crimes against women. You know, don't RIP. You deserved it. He literally looked like he was going to assault the doll.
Mhm.
Like, assault
Yeah,
Megan.
yeah.
I'm like, she's a literal
I
robot,
thought
and he looked
that
like he was
that's
going
where
to.
I thought that's where that was
Dorian!
going.
If he knocks, I just put out a new toothbrush. If he gets my new toothbrush all dirty because he drops it on the floor or something,
We're gonna have a problem.
I mean, he's not even gonna get in trouble. It's just gonna be annoying.
Fire away, fire away.
Oh, say hi.
Hey, stinker man.
Say, Auntie Katie, I wild boy.
She ripped that kid's ear off.
Yeah, clean off. I did turn to Allie, my friend that I went with. She is a nurse, and I asked her if your ear could stretch like that, and she said no.
I didn't think it could. That's nasty.
One part that was a little too cheesy for me, I do have to say, is when at the end when Katie is like, "We didn't introduce you to everyone in the family,"
Yeah.
and then like does the little glove thing with Bruce. I was
Mhm.
like, okay.
Honestly, the entire ending kind of had me disappointed because this concept, like we were talking about, was just so high and so well done. And I guess I was just kind of like let down by the ending. Like it was campy and very like classic horror, and I enjoyed it and I love that. But like I guess I just expected a little bit more from the concept, which again is why like I think they should make more, which they already are planning on it. But just like The Purge, the first Purge movie is like, yeah, this is okay. But then the second and third, it's like gets better and better. Anyways, sorry for that tangent. Yeah, I thought like her killing those guys in the elevator, like that was fine. But then her like strutting out and getting into somebody's Lambo. Whose fucking car was that?
See, I don't know, but I actually kind of liked that. It was so ridiculous.
Yeah, she was like driving the car. I don't know, like it just took kind of a turn at that point. Like I like the dance part, just like you were talking about, but it's just like from that point on, it kind of got like it started off one way and then kind of like took a turn. For me, it seemed kind of different. The Bruce thing was like I didn't think that was great. I thought she was gonna like unpair with her somehow.
That's a question I have. So then, are you paired forever?
I don't know. That might be something they explore in the next one because the mushroom has Megan inside it now.
The mushroom has Megan inside of it?
The like Alexa thing. It's like the shape of a mushroom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. That made Allie, when we were leaving, she's like, that made me want to go home and get rid of my Alexa. I did not have an Alexa, and I have no desire to have one. I just don't get why I would need it. I don't want that. I already know that they're listening through everything else I have. I don't need another device.
Yeah, absolutely. Agree. 1,000%.
Okay, the little trick of like the pen, I didn't get that. Why the pen to hold out in front and then she was able to like hit the button? Like, why not just like reach and hit the button? Did you understand that?
I think the first time she did it, Allison Williams, she was like, here, look at this pen for me. Like she was doing a command and having her do something. And when Megan was distracted on the pen, she reached out and clicked the button. Like, I don't think it was anything more than a distraction the first time she did it. But the second time she did it, Megan had like learned to not fall for that and to not necessarily listen to Allison's voice and like like recognize it as a command. That's what I took that to be.
It's just so crazy to think about how much gray area there would be with any kind of instructions for a robot like that. Like how they said to like protect and care for a child. There's so many ways that M3GAN found loopholes to do that. Or not like loopholes, but that kid in the wood, which granted I think she was legitimately in danger with that kid in the woods. But like with the neighbor and with the dog, and then when Allison Williams' character like grabbed onto her wrist when they were having like a fight, and then M3GAN like flipped out and made the whole house kind of like short circuit for that second. Like there's just so much. You could never like write enough code to not make a single way around that a computer wouldn't learn how to do what it wanted to do and find a loophole to do it. I don't know. That's just so scary.
There's no way to get a computer to recognize the complexity and like individuality of each situation. You can't just like code for everything and like all the randomness that happens in life.
If you had the amount of money, would you buy a M3GAN?
Well, I'm not having a kid, so I wouldn't need one.
Okay, but would you want one?
I would want one if it was like for adults, and I wouldn't want to be its friend. I would want it to do shit for me. Edit the podcast. Literally, if there's if there's an AI that can do that, if you can come pick me up so I don't have to pay to park, bitch. Be my Uber driver, like clean my house, like clean shit for me.
Do my laundry.
Cancel my gym membership for me. Like all this.
You still haven't done that?
Shut up. I don't want to talk about it.
Katie, give me their phone number. I will call and get it canceled for you.
Okay. Thank you.
That is insane that you are still paying for it when you don't use it.
I know. Well, I've been trying to get Corinne to call for me, okay? And she refuses to do it because she says I have to grow and mature.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, fine. I'll be
No. I need you to do this for me. I need you. Every time I call, the same lady answers, the same lady who bullied me out of it the first time. So every time I call, and she's like, "Hi, this is Miranda," and I hang up.
Oh my God.
I'm so scared of her.
Katie. Why? What's she gonna do?
Kicked my ass back in the day when I would work out there, and she's intimidating, and she doesn't want me to cancel. And I think I signed like a contract or something, and I'm scared of that.
You need to find that out first, and then if you are not locked into anything, I'll call and cancel for you.
I can figure this adult problem out off pod. If I had one wish, it would be to just have that shit be canceled right now.
But don't you think that how you just said before the gym shit about wanting one to just do things for you, don't you think that that's where we'd be headed really quickly, is like getting AI to do some stuff like that, and then it slowly grow and grow and grow until they're like people making target runs for other people, driving people around.
Yeah, and then if they start growing resentful, like or wanting things for themselves, like that's I don't know.
I would never trust one around my children. So I don't trust anyone around them. Well, it's not that I don't trust anyone. It's just that I know that no one else loves them to the same degree as I do. So I would never, I am always my number one choice to be looking out for them. So I would never trust AI to do that.
That is a very interesting parental perspective. I have never thought about that before. Like knowing that no one else loves your kids the way that you do. So being like worried about letting your kids go to a friend's house or like go to a sleepover at somebody's parents' house that you don't know. Like you might be wary about that for other reasons too, but like that's just an interesting perspective. Like no one's gonna love you the way I do. So let me just take care of you.
Like I'm the only person that has that level of love for them. So that's why I feel like I'm always my first choice for watching out for them. So even like when I'm going away in 2 weeks, even though my mom's gonna be watching them and I know she's going to take just fine care of them, she has cats, she raised humans, like it's fine. I just know that like she doesn't have the same level of love for them that I do. So like, is she going to give them the same amount of attention, the same amount of love, the same amount of like everything? Like, no.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. And currently though, they're driving me fucking crazy because they're in here crying. Stop crying.
You guys, think about the responsibility before you have a child or even a pet.
Hell no.
Because I'm starting to rethink that I need a dog after pulling my back with Cooper. His fucking
dogs are a lot of work.
8-pound ass.
Out in
broke
LA,
me.
I would prefer that. But like, so the other day on Tuesday, before I went to go see this movie, my parents were like, hey, so Nala was supposed to have daycare, but it was too cold this week, so they canceled it because the dogs couldn't be outside. So then, because my mom had a doctor's appointment on the other side of town in the evening, so they weren't going to be able to get home in between work and their appointments. Then they're like, can you go over and let her out? And I was like, sure. But I'm like, what if I wasn't around here? You guys would have had to just make that work or like take off of work early to go let her out. And then as I'm standing outside in like 2-degree weather, waiting for this dog to shit, I was like, once again, cats are just so superior. I don't ever have to be out in the freezing cold with them. If I want to be gone all day, which I don't ever want to be gone all day, but if I ever have to, I never have to worry about getting home in time that like they're gonna shit on the floor. They're the best. I never have to be out in the freezing cold with them. I never have to wake up on Saturday morning and be like, oh, I have to go out in the cold for a walk because my dog needs it.
Yeah, having a dog in the Midwest, I would never.
That's what I said. So like out in LA, that'd be different. But here, no, I see my neighbor out in his robe all the time with his dog, and his dog always takes forever to pee, and the guy always looks so pissed. And I'm like, maybe you should put on more clothes than just your robe, but he never does. But see, you could get an AI robot. You could. I was just talking about how great you guys are. Dorian! I can see his little eyes glowing. Get the fuck.
Oh, fuck. My eye has just lost my train of thought. Hey, guys, it's just me. It's just Katie. No, the good thing about not having kids and just having pets is that you can swear at them. I guess you could swear at your kids, too, but that's probably not a good idea.
Hey, Auntie Katie, I knocked Mom's room spray.
Oh,
at least it wasn't my meds.
God.
And then I didn't know that that's what he knocked in there because it went all the way down to the garbage disposal, and then I garbage disposaled him. That was a bad time. That's when he was he wasn't in actual trouble because, again, I didn't realize it until like 2 days later. But when I ran the disposal, and then I had to use tongs to fish out what was in there, and it was my fucking Walgreens cap. And
I forgot that happened. That shit was so funny.
Yeah.
But also not.
He's like pawing at my t-shirt. Like he's scared of it. Oh, okay. He's wild. I don't know. He's on one.
I'm good. I don't have anything else to say.
I don't either. I look forward to the next one then. I'm glad that they're making a second, actually.
Me too. So I'm gonna go make some motherfucking mac and cheese.
Anyways, we never even ended the pod. We just
oh yeah,
chatting. All right,
LYLAS.
LYLAS.
See you next time.